What stupid myth do too many people believe? Goldfish have short-term memory. Actually, goldfish can remember things up to a year. So many goldfish myths. It's a myth that they'll only grow to fit the size of their tank. They can definitely outgrow tanks, and both fancy and common goldfish routinely grow up to 7 or 8 plus in indoor aquariums. In outdoor ponds, where they have large volumes of water to dilute irritants, common goldfish have been reported to grow up to 18 inches. People also believe that goldfish have naturally short lifespans. This is wrong. They have unnaturally short lifespans because people kill them through neglect/incorrect care. The average lifespan of a goldfish is 5 to 10 years. The longest lived goldfish on record lived to 43. You'll notice all of these myths are good excuses to keep your goldfish in a tank as small as you see fit. Spot reduction of fat. People think that doing sit-ups will burn fat around your belly area. But if I always put the weight on in my belly, shouldn't I always fucking lose it in my belly? Come on, life. Be reasonable. Unfortunately, the first to get picked up is the last to get dropped off. So like riding the bus in elementary school, I'm going to miss my cartoons. You won't get in trouble if you tell the truth. Edit. Yes, I know that morally, this is not the good option. But if you are in a sticky situation, and I bet you once did, you probably lied. Shaving makes your hair grow back thicker. But this is half true, because hair naturally tapers out, but when you shave it, the thicker base, as it moves out, gives the whole thing a thicker appearance until time thins it back out again. Also, it is known that stress against skin releases tryptosone, one of the body's sex hormones that prompts hair growth, among other things, meaning that a poor shave can actually improve hair coverage. Source: I made all that stuff. That if you're an organ donor, then doctors won't try hard to save you and might "let you die." I'm a doctor. When I'm treating a patient, whether the patient is an organ donor or not never crosses my mind. I will genuinely have no idea. And even if I did, why would I want to sacrifice my patient for some random other patient across the country? Surely that would just make me look like a shit doctor. This isn't actually that stupid really, but it's my favorite weird myth that rabbits love carrots. They don't. You give a hungry rabbit a carrot, it'll probably eat it, but they likely wouldn't be high on its preference list. So why are carrots stereotyped as a rabbit's favorite food? Weirdly, because of Bugs Bunny. Bugs is always munching on a carrot, but why if rabbits don't really eat carrots normally? Because he was created in 1938, and that particular quirk was a parody of Clark Gable's character from the 1934 movie It Happened One Night, who had a famous scene being a wiseacre while munching on a carrot. The movie is mostly forgotten today, but was a huge hit at the time. Contemporary audiences, who would have also been seeing the cartoons in a movie theater as pre-show shorts, would have recognized the reference as easily as early 2000s audiences would recognize a bullet dodging scene as Matrix parody. The carrot munching bit became Bugs' signature, and over time the origin was mostly forgotten. Everyone associated rabbits with carrots so strongly because of that it eventually became common knowledge that rabbits love carrots despite it not being true at all. The myth is prevalent enough that pet shops will commonly warn people getting pet rabbits to make sure they feed them a proper diet because carrots are not sufficient and the poor bunny can actually starve to death. Bonus Bugs Bunny fact: he's also the reason Nimrod is an insult. Nimrod is a character from the Bible who among other things was famously an extremely skilled hunter. The term used to mean skilled hunter. Bugs used it sarcastically, making fun of Elmer Fudd, and people who didn't know the reference just assumed it meant idiot or something similar. That's its primary meaning these days. Edit. Couple quick addendums. Yes, rabbits will enjoy the green sprigs from the top of carrots often. Leafy greens are great for them, but that's not generally what anyone means by a carrot. Also, when I say It Happened One Night is mostly forgotten, I mean by the general public. Of course film buffs and historians etc know it. If you asked random people on the street about it, you'd probably get some who had heard of it, but way fewer that know who's in it, and you'd have a really hard time finding someone who can give a plot synopsis. That if you put a frog in tepid water and slowly raise the temperature, the frog won't try to escape and save itself when the temp gets too high. Great for illustrating certain points, but completely untrue. It's true if you cut their brains out first, which is what the study that originated this myth did. How is this not just murdering frogs and then putting them in hot water? Like, where does the question pop up? If they'll try to escape, they are dead. Their brains were cut out. They have a CNS reflex that makes them jump out of boiling water even without a head. That's the point that was being made, that a frog with a brain can recognize being slow boiled, but a frog body without a brain can only recognize being quick boiled. Fire sprinklers. They don't all go off by pulling a fire alarm. They're individually heat activated. Bermuda Triangle. For any given same-sized sea area, there is statistically the same amount of missing ships and planes. That sugarcane grows faster on sand. Has Minecraft been lying to me all these years? That blood is blue in your veins, but turns red when exposed to the air. Total bullshit. Blood is always red. It just goes from dark crimson to bright, almost pink depending on how much oxygen is present in your blood. The blue color of your veins is just that, the color of the vein tissue, because of how light shifts as it passes through the skin. If someone persists, ask them what color the blood is when they have it drawn, because it's not in contact with the air. Hint, it's red. Edit, corrected statement regarding where the blue is coming from. In any event, the blood inside the arteries and veins is red. You get arthritis by cracking your knuckles. All it is just gas bubbles popping. Also, some guy did a long-term experiment, several decades I think, where he constantly cracked all knuckles in one hand and left the other one alone. After the experiment was over, they took x-rays and tests to find that both hands were practically identical in terms of condition. Good to know I quit my habit of cracking my knuckles for nothing. Despite what many people think, Albert Einstein never failed math. The confusion likely comes from the grading system, but this myth has been around for a long time and used by people as a sort of motivation. When he was shown a clipping from Ripley's Believe It or Not, where that myth originated, he responded, "I never failed in mathematics. Before I was 15 I had mastered differential and integral calculus." That being a mother automatically makes you a medical doctor, professional therapist, and all-around better person, because you have children. That companies value your hard work when you consistently go above and beyond. If you put in 100% effort all the time, congrats. That's your baseline. Edit, to clarify, I'm not saying be lazy or that hard work does not lead to better opportunities/advancement. All I'm saying is that more often than not, being the biggest contributor means you're more likely to be taken advantage of. I've worked in startups, agencies, and corporate 9-5s, and there is always somebody overworked and overstressed because people know he/she will get the job done. Rant. You don't need to wait 24 hours to report a missing person. If you sincerely think someone is missing, then report it. The faster that a missing person report is filed, the better chance there is that the person will be found. This is especially crucial when it comes to missing children. That people in the past got married and had children in their early teens. Historically speaking, most girls wouldn't enter puberty until the mid to late teens. For example, in 1850s Britain, the average girl started puberty at 16. In Norway during the same period, the average age of puberty onset was 18. Even outside of that biological requirement, there was almost always an economic side to marriage and childbirth as well. For much of recorded history, most people got married and had children in their late teens or even the early to mid-20s. It has to be my least favorite historical myth, right up there with medieval people didn't drink water. It's ignorance of biology at best, and an attempted excuse for child molestation at worst. Higher octane fuel is better for your car. Unless it was designed for it, there is literally zero benefit. Lighter wallet. Car moves faster. That everything will magically turn out okay. I know a guy that makes about $11/HR and has 3 kids. He turns down better paying jobs, doesn't plan for the future at all. Always had a big list of material things that he wanted out of life, has done nothing to make it happen. That's like the joke where a man is drowning in the ocean and a boat comes by and asks to need help, and the man says no, God will save me, and he keeps drowning, and another boat comes by and asks if he needs help, and he says no, God will save me, and he keeps shouting and drowning, and third boat comes by and says hey you look like you need help, he says no, God will save me. And then when he finally dies from drowning and get to heaven, he asks God, why didn't you help me? And God says, I sent 3 boats, what more could I have done? Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment and share this video. Subscribe to my channel. Bye.